Let me in here for IrishBoxing.com. It's fight week. Short fuse. Ger Hughes is back in action, and Ger, welcome. I know it's been a while since we last talked. The rematch is finally signed, sealed, and delivered on the old piece of paper. How
It
are we?
is good, mate. Feeling good. Fight week, finally, it's came around. Felt like a long time, but I just can't wait to get in there and fight on Saturday night. It's just anticipation now.
Listen, it's been kind of a while in and out. But it's I say it's good to be back, and probably the biggest card of the year as well, topped off by a good friend of yours in Paddy Donovan facing Lewis Crocker.
Yeah, mate, it's a great card. When uh when the opportunity came to fight on this card, there was no saying no to anyone really.
Yeah.
Uh, there was a few opponents and then Rudy was brought up and we didn't know if Rudy was going to take it over the 8 rounds. Obviously, I can't fight Rudy in a 10 rounder because I have to do an eight, and Rudy took it. So we're here in an 8 rounder, and yeah, mate, it's a great card to be on, and great names on it.
Talk to me. Like, was it hard getting it signed in, Joe, to get the rematch? And who were the opponents that you were kind of referring there?
Well, at first I was offered Callum Turnbull,
Yeah,
the Scottish guy, over 6 rounds. And I'd said yes. That was like November time, and
yeah.
then maybe this start of December, and then um when I then spoke to Jamie down in Waterford and it said about Rudy, and he was like, yeah, we'll offer it to Rudy, and Rudy accepted it. So once Rudy accepted, that was it. It was full straight to the rematch. Obviously, we were meant to fight in August.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had my medical issues that pulled me from that, but yeah, mate, I think it's coming at the right time. I know Rudy's on a good run, and yeah, I can't wait to fight on Saturday night.
Take me back to August 3rd. The fight's just been pulled, and I say there's many emotions going through your head and your body. I say you was kind of annoyance then anger and then whatever else came. I say you're just like, what do I do now? And then you got back training, Joe, and now you're here, and it's paid off in a way if you get me.
It was strange, mate, because when it happened, it's a weird feeling, mate, because until you've been in that position, it's hard to describe. Because right away, mate, you like no, you feel like crying. You're like, because you've just put in. Like I got the call on the Monday, and I'd spent 4 grand in camp. I was down in Dublin with Tyrone. It's not cheap going down there, and you've done all that training for it just to be pulled on the week, and it was strange. It was just when they first told me, they didn't tell me what was wrong. So they just says, yeah, you've failed your brain scan, and I was like, friggin' one. Obviously, listen, your health's your health. Do you know what I mean? You sort of you freak out a wee bit, but as I was maybe about a week later, I got a phone call from the boxing board of control, and they just explained what happened, and then they were like, listen, we need you to do additional tests to basically see if it's safe for you to box. um Obviously they were saying, the reality is, depending on these tests, it's if you, this is what's going to make the decision if you box again.
Yeah.
So they says, we can't promise if you're going to box again, and it was just strange, mate. But you're right, mate. I got back to the gym like that week, that Monday after the fight. I went straight to Dublin and I was training. Um, and yeah, mate. It's tough because you just sort of put your trust in that it was gonna be okay, and that's what I'm saying. Like all them extra tests I had to do, for it was about 3 months, mate. I was just pulled everywhere, doctors, neuropsychologists, everything, and mate, it was all coming. Like there was no when they put you through for this stuff, mate. There's no support. You have to pay for it yourself.
Hmm.
So I'm just glad. Like I'll shout out Mark Weir, our Kings. He fair play to him. He sorted all the medical costs out, and it's got me back to be where we are now.
Did you ever think, or did a thought ever go through your head at one point during that difficult period of time during your career that you're like, "Feck this, I want to show the town now." Like, did any sort of them thoughts ever go through your head, and then you're like, "Okay, I'm actually in this for a reason," and just me overthinking?
No, I mean, I never. That's the thing. Like from August, I just continued training.
Mm.
I sparred Sonny as well. You know,
Yeah.
I just says frigate. Like boxing's my life, mate. You know, so it was like I don't know. You were just carrying on as normal. Obviously, not certain on what the future held, but as I said, mate, you were sort of just trusting and hopefully that it was all good and we were okay. And thankfully that I went and all the tests all the tests came back that I was okay to go and now we're here.
You've been a vital part of Team Joe Parker over the past few weeks. A motivator, a dancer, as I've seen in the background. You're throwing shapes to the pads and the punch bags. Just
Yeah.
talk me through what it's been like through Joe Parker, and obviously big up and congratulations to Joe Parker off his win, off his knockout win. But what's it like being around Joe Parker over those past few weeks?
Mate, it was in November. I started training down there and it was it's insane, mate. Joe was there for a few weeks to start and then he went home and then he came back. And you know what, mate, it see when you're around, you know, it's all right being around, very, very good boxers, but then when you're around ex heavyweight world champions and people who are fighting every single fight elite opposition, it just you see the difference in what needs to be done. One thing about Joe is, mate, he's an absolute gentleman. Like
Yeah, he seems
I
like that. He
actually
seems like so
I
humble and
remember,
nice.
mate, I'm not lying. So the first session I did at the gym, this is funny. I actually said this to him. First session I did at the gym, I got out. Joe was there. There was a few of them there. I was shit myself, and Joe did not know me, and he gave me a hug. But I probably needed it because it settled me. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean?
that's so nice.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
He probably seen I was nervous,
Yeah,
but he's made the guy is just an absolute gentleman. And you know what? Even don't get me wrong, you learn a lot from Joe with through boxing and training
yeah,
and it's watching his spars and how he lives his life. But see, even just how he interacts with people, mate.
yeah,
Like he's just a. I remember we were going and I was going like this guy has to be putting this on. He can't be this nice, but
yeah.
he just is. He's just an absolute gentleman and yeah, mate, it was great. We learned a lot. Just seeing how Joe lives,
Mm.
what he's done to get to that stage. It was amazing, mate, to be down there training with him and Paddy. We had Ben Whitaker down. He
Yeah.
was there as well. So it's
You
just
Bomber
mad, mate.
Brown as well. You'd Bomber Brown
Yeah,
down.
it was you're going down there and it's the who's who. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Makes training a lot easier and
Mm.
as them saying, Andy and Tony Brown's looked after me from November. So yeah, mate, I just can't wait to I would say from the last time I fought Rudy, I've been a part of I've from that fight I've definitely changed a lot as a fighter. I was with Pete and then Pete's went to the Netherlands and then I've now been with Andy and Tony and just even I look back at that fight, mate, and the when I watched back the Rudy fight, the first one, and I'm not even half the fighter
Yeah.
I am now. I just actually look at that fight and cringe a wee bit. But
Yeah.
listen, it's led us to this point, and it's a great fight on the card, a fight that people are really really interested in.
Yeah. You're accompanied by a very, very extremely high level nutritionist and S&C coach in George Lockhart, a man that is respected worldwide around the MMA and boxing community. I say it's nice to chat with him as well, and he seems like a really nice guy to talk to.
Yeah, mate. He done so from basically from Alvin down there. From he get into camp with Joe, he came I think the end of December, and
Yeah.
he's been working with me and Paddy. And down doing our S&C. He goes to all the sessions as well. He warms you up. He does everything, mate. Does your nutrition. He's a legend, mate. Again, sometimes you have to actually pinch yourself because I remember, mate, when I was young, like watching the UFC embedded, and he's running about with McGregor, and then he's standing beside you counting reps, and you're like, what the
Yeah.
frig's going on here? Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's insane, but
Yeah.
you know. he actually comes in tomorrow for fight week, and yeah, mate. Again, as I said, you're just
Top
around
level
world
guys,
class.
basically. That's what you're trying to
Yeah,
say. Yeah.
yeah, and you can, and no matter what, you can only batter yourself from
Mm.
that, So yeah, mate. All the lads down there, they're amazing.
One more thing, just quickly before we talk about the rematch. What can we see from what you can say? What has Paddy been like in camp? From again, what you can say.
Paddy's Paddy, mate. Paddy is, he before I went down, I'd obviously heard stories about Paddy and how good he was, and
Mm.
it was actually when I seen him up close in the flesh, you're like, he's good, you know, one thing about Paddy is even when you're watching him spar, even hit the bags, he's just very, very, very easy on the eye. He does everything
Yeah,
perfect, and when he's sparring, mate, he doesn't waste anything. It's almost like he's three steps ahead of the people. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like anything he throws just lands, and he's very, very sharp, mate. Punches as well. Definitely does punch, and he's been looking good in training, mate. He's been training hard. We've been all pushing each other in the boxing gym, in S&C. Um, so yeah, mate. Again, it's and don't get me wrong. All the fights on the card are 50-50 fights. They're
Yeah.
all
It's
they're
a
all
well-built
hard to.
card. It's a
Yeah,
well-built
mate. It's a
card.
well built card, especially it means a lot in Ireland. For how all these fights are big, big Irish fights, and yeah, mate. It's going to be a great night.
Andy Lee, in both of your corners as well on Saturday night. Hopefully, well, he's a busy man between his own commentary and in between the corners and with George Lockhart.
Yeah,
And he's here, there, and
yeah.
everywhere. Let's say that.
That's
But
it. That's it.
with your rematch, talk to me from as you said. You look back at that first fight and you cringe, as you said. What adjustments again? As you can say so far, because obviously every fighter wants to keep something secret in camp until we
Yeah.
see you in the ring. What can we see, or what can you say that we can expect to see on Saturday night in that rematch in the SSE? Just probably a couple of miles away from. I know you live in a small bit up more, but you'll be
Yeah.
bringing a good bit of fans down as well.
Yeah. Yeah, mate, listen, when even when I was with Pete, we identified things that I was doing that was just it was unnecessary. Um and again, mate, being around like the likes of Joe, Andy, see one thing about when you get to that level of like world class, any world class fighter does the basics perfectly.
Yeah,
They're not doing the fancy stuff. Like look at Crawford, look at Shakur. They just do their job. Everything's just footwork. The basics are perfected. And I think when I first fought Rudy, I was trying to overcomplicate things. Um, so this time, mate, I can't wait to go in and just show what I've learned over the last year. With Pete and also under Andy, and yeah, mate, I can't wait to fight. It's just anticipation now, mate,
yeah.
because it's been so long talked about. You
Do you feel
have
like kind of saying "feck the talk" now? I kind of want to get into the ring and get this done.
listen. At the end of the day, mate, you need to give us both props because you know I could have took an easy fight. He could have, and he says he could have took an easier fight. We're every single time. We're willing to, and that's one thing Jamie Conlon said. We're willing to take these 50-50 fights. Every like we're game. So you have to sort of look at it and just not that there's a build up. There has to be a build up. It gets the hype going. But I think without all that, this fight sells itself.
Yeah.
And that's what Eddie Hearn's into. He's into storylines. He's into good fights. And Eddie wanted to do the fight, and we're not here, so we're on fight week. So yeah, mate. Yeah, it's going to be good.
As you said at the press conference, the kickoff press conference, you can't walk down the street without this fight being mentioned somewhere in the conversation.
I mate, I walk anywhere and they ask about that fight and if it's going to happen. And obviously, listen, we were meant to fight in August. I've explained
Why?
what
Yeah, and we,
obviously
we know the
happened there.
reasons why. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Um, but and that's what I'm saying, mate. Like realistically, if you look at it on paper, I probably shouldn't be taking this fight right away.
yeah.
I've had a time out. Not. I fought in March, end of March last year. You know, I don't really look at the inactivity, mate, because I'm always training. I'm always sparring.
Mm.
Um,
You're never
so
not active if you get me.
yeah, you
You're
know what?
always
Like
there.
there isn't a day goes by, mate, where I don't train or do something to do with training.
Yeah.
So you know that's what I'm saying. I have been out for March. Maybe like if you were looking at it on paper, should you take this fight? Rudy's coming off two good an 8 round to 10 round fight. I'm coming off a 4 rounder against a journeyman. But at the end of the day, mate, this is what I am in boxing for. I'm
Mm.
not in boxing
Take easy
to
fights. You want
to
hard
take
fights.
easy
Yeah.
fights. Exactly. Not even that I want hard fights, mate. I want to test myself.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I think that's to do with every boxer's way. Every boxer wants to test
Yeah.
himself, you know?
And as you said there, mate, going back, like I can't go anywhere, without the fight being talked about.
Yeah.
He's probably the exact same. So
Yeah.
yeah, mate, like I said it in the first press conference, I feel like I'm in a friggin' toxic relationship with him, to be honest, because it's like I just like anywhere you go, his name comes up. Anywhere, mate, I go anywhere, and they're like even Dublin, mate. I was going to like gyms in Dublin and
Yeah.
being about Dublin. People were talking and they were asking about that fight, and you're going fucking hell. So yeah, mate, it's anticipation now, and I can't wait to get in on Saturday. I just want the bell to go.
Yeah. Like at the press conference tomorrow and then the weigh-in, will you shake hands or would there be a bit of animosity to build the? You know, I'm sure. Like, is there respect there? That's the whole question. Is there holy respect
Of
there?
course, of course. Listen, Rudy's Rudy, and I'm
Jer's
me.
Jer and Rudy's Rudy. Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, it doesn't take much to get us two talking shit to each other. Do you know what I mean? And I think you media know that, and you like to play on it. Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
like to stir the
Everyone likes
pot.
to build a good fight.
Yeah.
Everyone likes to build a good fight.
Um. But listen, at the end of the day, mate, we shared 6 good rounds with each other. Of course, there's respect there. Listen, it would be stupid to say otherwise. Look at some of look at the tragedy that happened in our sport there last month.
John
Do you know what I
Kennedy, God
mean?
rest his soul.
Yeah, rest in peace. And at the end of the day, mate, don't get me wrong. You want to win and you want to do the business, but at the end of the day, mate, like the sport, the true reality of the sport, sometimes it just takes you back. So of course there's respect there, mate. There's respect to anybody that's in a boxing ring, amateur, pro.
White
Do you know what I
collar,
mean? Because
whatever it
yeah,
is.
because you're getting in and that's what I'm saying. Like I was speaking to Mick when I was over with Mick. Like you're getting in and you're not coming. Like when you go in and have a fight, you're not coming out the same person after.
Yeah.
You're giving a bit of yourself to the sport, and you know what I mean. Like that's what I'm even going back to say is why this is why I want to test myself and
Mm.
take these fights, because what's the point in doing it against a journeyman? Do you know what I mean?
No, I do.
You're
I
going
do
to
get you. Like, but at the end of the day, you want to go home safe, and obviously you pray that, and
yeah, oh
you want
100%.
you want Rudy to go home safe, and that's the end of it. And
Yeah,
at the end of the day, the lights go off in the SSE Arena. Everyone gets home safe. You get paid,
that's
and
it.
you move on. Simple as.
That's it, mate. That's the beauty about it. Once you once the bell goes, you fight each other. Like like that's what I'm saying. Like even getting into talk, like we're fighting on Saturday. Like there's like you don't need to talk. Do you know what I mean? We're gonna punch each other in the face on Saturday. So the talking sells it, and the talking's good, but it doesn't matter what we say,
Talking
mate.
only goes
Because
so far, Joe. Talking
that
can only
that's
go so
that's
far.
it. So yeah, mate. That's what I'm saying. There's always respect there. Do you know what I mean? I respect anyone that gets in the boxing ring, and I definitely respect him from what he's even done from our fight. So yeah, it's up to me to try and stop him in his tracks.
Like speaking about, I remember you literally just said there about like you can't just like fighting it and the respect. I remember reading Andy Lee's book, and an Uriah book, and I remember one line it said, "You both signed a contract to punch each other in the face, and that's okay because that's the sport that you're in."
Yeah, that's it. That's I think that like it's like two football teams going to play football. This is
Yeah,
just this is what we do, mate. There's no thought in it. I think sometimes people can carry away with build up. Do you know what I mean? Like a good fight sells itself,
yeah,
and this is a good fight. This is me and him. Young in our career.
yeah,
Um, and we're taking decent fights, and like at the end of the day, the only real, like obviously there's going to be a winner on the night, but the only real winners here are the fans, because they're getting, for the likes of me and Rudy taking these fights, they're getting brilliant fights. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
They're getting entertained. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, mate. Yeah, it's good. I can't wait the press conference obviously tomorrow, so it'll be good.
Will
It'll
your
be good
number
to
one
go in.
fan be there?
He's fell out with me at the minute, mate.
Oh.
He's
Okay.
fell out with me. Aye, Burnsy's fell out with me.
Okay.
He's not happy. He basically told me that I wasn't to do any media. He told me I wasn't
Oh,
to
whoops.
talk to Eddie Hearn.
Whoops.
He says all this shit. Um, and yeah, he's not happy. He says that Eddie Hearn hasn't spoke to him or run anything bam about me. So yeah, he's not a happy man at the minute.
He'd be very angry
So
when he sees his interview going out. But anyways,
he'll
I
probably
have
not
to do
even
my
see it.
job.
So
I have to
he,
do
do you
my
know
job.
what?
So
Do you know what he really actually fell out with me over?
what? That one
So
interview.
I usually tap his phone up,
Yeah.
and I didn't tap his phone up this week, so that's what I think he's fell out with me about.
You're
Yeah,
busy. You're a busy man. But
I'm a
anyways,
busy man.
yeah, you're a
Can't run
treat.
about getting 20 quid Vodafone top ups. Do you know what I mean? Fuck's sake.
Um, One last question, Ger. Again, first off, thanks for your time. I know you're a busy man during fight week, and I really appreciate your time,
Yeah,
as always. Three singular words that we can expect from Ger Hughes against Rudy Farrell in the rematch.
aggressive, strong, and surprising.
Aggressive, strong, and surprising. Ger Hughes, on that note, I'm going to leave you. Have a good sleep this evening. Be ready for the press conference tomorrow. We'll all be watching live on the zone worldwide. If you're not there already, people, you can watch it on the zone or you can go. Ger, just let the people know where the press conference is.
The press conference is tomorrow, 1 p.m. at the Europa Hotel, open to the public.
Oh, it will be today
The
because it'll be posted tomorrow if you get me. So it'll be today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the weigh-in is on Friday at 6 p.m. at the Waterfront Hall.
Oh, gives you more time to rehydrate. That's great. Okay.
Yeah, so they're doing a ceremonial weigh-in at 10 a.m., which that's the way it should be, mate.
Yeah.
Uh, and then and it's not even that it should be for the fighters. Like people they usually do the ones at 1 p.m. People are working.
Yeah.
People are in, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of
People have
kids
lives
that
to be
would want to
living and
go with it
people
that
have
are
work.
in school. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the 6 p.m. Is definitely better, and that's why I think they've booked the Waterfront Hall. They're expecting big numbers.
Yeah. Joe, on that note, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.